James, I see you logged in 3 different ways. You must be on your mobile phone as well, or
Me?
yes.
No, I'm just on only on this one. That's
Oh,
weird.
that's so interesting.
Yeah, I see him connected 4 different ways.
Oh, you know what it is? I manually added some people to it, so they're just joining.
Oh, on your link.
I think so. There might be more of me coming.
Yeah, you've got quite a crew of Jameses. 5 so far on top of yourself.
Yeah, I see Angela. She's got like 5 that are joining. Christina's got 4 or 5 joining. So no, some people we just manually added them. So we'll give a few more minutes, everybody. Yeah, give a couple more minutes for everybody to join here. So thanks everybody for the ones that have joined right now.
And maybe we'll shoot to start at 5 after, James, or sooner.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Let me see what we got going on here. All right. Well, I think we can. You guys want to start, Paul, or got about 30
Sure.
people?
What's our 32 people? Might as well get it rolling.
Perfect. Thanks everybody for joining. Good to see some familiar faces on here. I'm James Ellis. I lead our partner sales, and I'm joined with my team here as well as NeuraFlash. So we're going to be talking about MIAW, or messaging for in-app web, and we've got some demos and we've got some ideas around how you can start creating some pipeline with your clients and do some really cool stuff. And so I want to thank the NeuraFlash team for putting this session on internally for us. And then again, at the end, we'll go through some CTAs and we'll have a external client-facing webinar to follow up in a couple of weeks. So with that, I will hand it over to Paul, and he will kick us off for the next 60 minutes. Take it away, Paul.
Good deal. Thanks, James. Really appreciate it. Thank you, everyone, for joining the webinar today on a beautiful Wednesday afternoon or morning, I guess, if you're West Coast. Folks, it's Paul Taylor here. The purpose of this session is truly enablement. It's to get your arms and heads around the upgrade opportunity that is ahead of us as Salesforce retires some of your legacy chat capabilities, and the opportunity to engage your customers in a net new conversation about what are they thinking around digital engagement and what's possible with some of the new capabilities that you're replacing the legacy tools with. Next slide. Quick agenda. We're going to do 3 or 4 slides to tell you a bit about NeuraFlash and some of our customer stories. We've done this before. That's going to be the baseline message here. And why would you even position this capability as an upgrade? We've got some really good messaging behind that to help you get in front of the customers with a great talk track. Sydney's going to run a quick and amazing demo to show you these next generation capabilities that you're launching into market. And then we're going to talk a bit about what the upgrade offerings are from us and some of the quick start packages we've put together from NeuraFlash to help you and your customers get going with the new toolkits. And then there'll be open Q&A after, so pepper us at will once we get through some of the content. If that's fair, I'll ask for the next slide. Quick introductions, folks. A lot of you may have met Brett Chisholm. He's the founder and CEO of NeuraFlash. 8 years ago, he founded this organization, and we've grown into a 400-person strong org around the world. I report up into John Hostetler. John is our SVP for global sales and focuses on the enterprise segment specifically. I've got Sydney Donato with me out of Brooklyn. She is an amazing solution engineer, knows the Salesforce platform cold, and she's going to be showing you the actual toolkits today that we're going to be talking about this MIAW product. And for those of you who I haven't met, I'm Paul Taylor, and if the gray hair looks familiar at all, I come to NeuraFlash after 13 years at Salesforce. So I know the platform pretty well. I had a fantastic run at the organization. And my last role before leaving at the end of 22 was as a Service Cloud Prime AE. So I've sat in your chair. I've sold the platform, and hopefully I bring some of that experience and customer engagement expertise to help you get in front of your customers with good messaging. So with that, I'll ask for the next slide. So who the heck are we, folks? If you take one thing away today, we are absolute category killers around contact center transformation. We have hundreds of years of experience on our bench around that topic. We have delivered hundreds of Salesforce projects in the service space. We are experts in digital channels, field service, the whole stack. If you're thinking about making your customers successful on the platform, hopefully we're your first choice and your first call because we've got the experience to really help you. I think worth pointing out is that we're also a summit partner and an ISV for Salesforce. So we're at your top tier as a partner. We're fourth globally for Service Cloud. If you can believe that, a 400-person organization, you can imagine what the other names are in front of us. So that growth's driven by expertise. But we're also a strategic partner of AWS. And that's important because as you build your relationship with Amazon, we're already there. And Brett himself specifically very well connected to the organization. And that enables us a ton of partnership opportunities, a lot of funding opportunities for projects. So engage us if you want to start having a conversation that would include AWS componentry in the solution. And we're an amazing partner to help you there. We've got deep bench strength though. So we go across the full stack now. So we're fully certified on the entire stack, MuleSoft, Tableau, Slack, CPQ. We are your partner to enable success there. So hopefully you give us some thought when you want to engage a client in conversations about how to make your platform sing. Next slide. So how do we do this? Well, we're a full stack implementation partner. It starts with building a strategy. How does the customer want to transform, leveraging your tools, your platform to be successful? And then we'll design and implement based on the licensing you're going to be putting into the statement of work or the work order for the end customer. And then we'll connect all of that leveraging MuleSoft so that their entire ecosystem of data can be resident inside Salesforce and give them that true customer 360 we all envision. But what makes us a little bit unique is that we end up staying on with customers more frequently than not with our change management capabilities and our managed services packages that we built on your platform as well. So there's some really amazing opportunities for us to be longer term partners with your customers. In fact, the two examples I'll give you today, we are with the customer on a highly regular basis, year after year after year, helping them be successful with Salesforce. So again, our partnerships run your entire stack, and the Amazon partnership being the other lead partner in our space. And if you're wondering how the heck do we help you? Well, we'll get involved from conversation one with the customer. We'll bring SE expertise to drive demos. We can bring point of view around industry. For instance, I'm at NeuraFlash specifically to focus on fins. So there's an opportunity to leverage that expertise after many years in your chair. But we also will put together guaranteed outcome-led statements of work with your customers. So we're tightly aligned to what their business objectives are with your tools so that we can get them successful as quickly as possible. We've packaged up a whole host of quick starts and accelerators. Again, when you've got the depth of knowledge, you can start to build out nicely packaged, nicely priced quick starts to get customers rolling as fast as possible and get success happening, even in a POC environment. And then I've mentioned our ability to stay with the customer long term. We offer that sort of land and expand mentality as well. Again, 400-person strong organization. We're 8 years in, folks, and we're already a top partner in the ecosystem. So we're really proud of that. Next slide. We focus on outcomes. We can't say it enough. This is what gets measured with clients, specifically when you're talking about the service side of the equation, decreasing handle time, call deflection, being able to work in multiple languages, deflect as much as possible to digital channels. These are the things we call out and we measure. And this will be our talk track as we engage with clients from the first meeting. Next slide, Sydney, please. Always got to show the branding slide, right? So we've been in the FID space for some time, and we're building our way into the enterprise space now, which is really exciting. So you'll see some recognizable names, such as E-Trade. I just clicked off soon. Blue Vine, and I've got actually a couple of more specific examples. So why don't we just hop to next slide, and I'm going to talk to you about a firm. I love this story because it's the full stack of service. 750 agents strong. A firm has deployed essentially the entire Service Cloud stack and done it in a way that's really compelling. They're driving 50,000 cases a week on the platform. But the amazing thing is their digital experience on your platform. 40% deflection rate to Experience Cloud, nearly 90% voice bot engagement. Pretty powerful and compelling numbers. And this gets really specific to MIAW as you go to talk to clients like a firm that are leveraging parts of your legacy platform. There's an opportunity to have them rethink what else is possible with some of your new tools. Next slide. I brought boasts to the table. I know it's not Fins, so don't beat me up in the chat, but there's a reason I brought it up. A, it's global. B, everyone knows the Boast brand. But C, this is a full MIAW deployment. So the powerful nature of the MIAW platform allowed Boast to really go global and improve the agent and customer experience alike and start capturing a whole host more insights inside the platform. Like things like asynchronous chat, you say, so what? What does that mean? The amazing thing about it is it lets the agents operate across multiple chats, but it captures the history of that chat interaction, not just for the agent, but also for the end customer. And that becomes a really compelling story for financial services customers as they want to interact, A, digitally, but B, let's start offering a nice continuous experience for that end customer in the chat as well as their agent interaction. Really, really powerful capabilities. I mean, take a look at these numbers. They increased deflections by 27%, completely displaced a third-party knowledge platform, put all of their data inside Salesforce. So now you can start adopting a whole host of Gen AI capabilities like service replies and next best action activities can start to really be driven by the content resident within the Salesforce platform. Now they've got a ton of flexibility and they're truly leveraging some of those next gen capabilities of the MIAW platform, like the enhanced bot. And you'll actually see this live in the demo, but it's really, really powerful because it truly will get the sales rep or agent with the right option to the right agent at the right time, and then allow a whole bunch of flexibility for your customer to drive that bot intent intelligently ongoing. Massive deployment. Thanks so much, Sydney. Next slide. So here's why we're all here. I'm going to pass it over to Sydney to talk about the functionality capabilities of the platform as it relates to MIAW.
Yeah, thanks, Paul, and thanks everyone for the time. So like Paul said, wanted to talk a little bit about why we're here today, and some of the conversations that NeuraFlash has been having lately with our customers, your customers, where we've seen some success and really some points to highlight when speaking with your customers about this new upgrade, right? So because Salesforce is investing into the new MIAW channel, features like Einstein 1 will only be available to agents in console using MIAW, which obviously or unsurprisingly has licensing implications, right? Customers that are sticking with chat are basically going to be stuck with the current functionality and feature set, and they wouldn't be able to take advantage of the new and improved features with the updated MIAW framework. Of course, because this is a new and improved channel, MIAW puts us in a better competitive position so that we can compete with other providers like LivePerson, TalkDesk, those other providers that have been offering things like asynchronous chat for years, right?
Right.
So I think the goal here is that we're framing the conversation with our customers, with Salesforce's customers, as an upgrade versus a headache, right? All the conversations we've had, we frame it with, hey, we're so excited to share this news. There's a new feature for you to take advantage of. It's called MIAW. We can all laugh about the name, but then we can all look at the new features and show them exactly what they're getting out of it that's different versus what they have in live chat today.
Sydney, if I can just add, folks, I was a Service Cloud AE when Click Field Service retirement messaging went out to customers. I lived that pain. It's better to get ahead of retiring capabilities with the sort of next best offering to help take them to the future. And I think what's unique with this one, separate from the Click strategy, is you've got an opportunity to take them truly new capabilities that open up doors for other SKUs and other tools in the Salesforce kit bag to enable as part of that transition. So you take the sort of pain of losing a SKU or solution with replacing it with a whole host of new capability and functionality. And if you bring a partner like NeuraFlash to the table, some simplicity around that transition. So give that some thought.
Yeah, absolutely. As far as features are concerned, again, we've had a lot of success focusing on the positive, which is all of this new stuff that your customers will be able to take advantage of, over the negative, which is, yes, there is going to be some work involved to migrate over, which, like Paul mentioned, we do have packages that we'll talk about after the demonstration of how we can help your customers, who kind of falls into what category, and really how NeuraFlash can help you have those conversations. So I think, like we mentioned, there's a host of new features that are going to be available, or that are available with MIAW, some of which are highlighted here on this slide. I think some of the big ones that are going to be probably the most exciting to customers are, of course, features like having the ability to take advantage of generative AI features. Einstein 1 is unsurprisingly huge, right? They'll be blocked by some features that I'll demo in just a moment if they are stuck on live chat. Asynchronous chat is something that I've been in the Salesforce space for maybe 10 or 12 years, and it's come up time and time again. We've never had a good solution for it until today. So basically, asynchronous chat, just to kind of quickly review what that functionality means to a customer and what it solves for. It essentially means that when a customer comes to a website to engage with a chat or bot, they'll be able to scroll up and see all of their previous conversations. In practice, it means that it's fixing a problem that I'm sure a lot of us have experienced personally when talking to our bank for support or whomever for support, right? Let's say I'm chatting with my bank. I've got a fraudulent claim. I'm chatting in. I'm at work though. I forget that I have this chat window in my other browser, and the chat automatically closes out. When I remember it, I come back, chat's gone, and I have to reinitiate the chat. In the MIAW world, in the asynchronous chat functionality, that issue goes away, right? If I forget about the chat, I come back to the browser. Sure, maybe the agent is no longer actively online, but if I reinitiate the chat, it can be routed right to them or to a relevant agent who can take care of me without having to go through the whole process of starting up a new chat or filling out a form or giving them the account that I was previously that was affected, right? So it will solve that problem that a lot of our customers have with synchronous messaging. Other big features, and this one really is right in the name, but with MIAW messaging in app and web, we're able to deploy chat as a channel embedded right into our Salesforce and NeuraFlash's customers, right into their apps. Before, this was not possible, right? You'd go to their app, you'd click chat, be brought to your mobile browser, and then you could chat, right? This keeps the conversation contained within their app without having to build out a custom connector or any sort of custom functionality or redirecting them out to a browser, right? So it aims to simplify that process, make it a little bit cleaner. Of course, there are other features listed here, like read receipts, which we'll take a look at in the demo, better reporting, just an improved feature set. But these are kind of the big ones that we've seen a lot of traction with. Again, I think our best success with messaging for our clients is keeping it a positive conversation. So it's not so much oh, it's too bad you're going to have to say goodbye to live chat, but more so, hey, look at all these cool features that you get to take advantage of. And the effort to get them there is relatively low. Cool. So I think with that, I will jump right into the demo. And let me know, Paul, if you can see my screen. We should be looking at, okay, cool. So we're looking at a fictional company that I have lovingly named NeuraCache, our fictional Fins NeuraFlash company. So I'm on an Experience Cloud site. This could be within app, this could be on their corporate website, but in this example, I'm just on the Experience Cloud site. You can see in the right-hand corner, I am already chatting, or I had previously been chatting with support. And when I click into this widget here, you can see I've already got just right off the bat, I have access to all of that historical context as the customer. So I can see, oh yeah, I did chat them yesterday morning or last month or whatever the case may be. So I'm going to say hello, initiate a chat, and we should be greeted by a chatbot, the NeuraFlash virtual assistant, to offer up some commonly asked questions. So what we'll see here is not too terribly different from what you're going to see in the Salesforce chat world, right? It looks pretty similar. There's a couple different user interface enhancements that were made to the MIAW framework. It's a little bit faster. It's a little bit more reliable. I'm going to go ahead and say, yes, this is helpful. Basically, I'm just going to go through a couple questions, ask about sending a wire transfer. I'm also going to ask about adding a user to my account. Maybe I wanted to add my assistant to my account and he hasn't been notified, right? I added my assistant. He hasn't been notified yet. And it looks like my assistant, Paul Taylor, will be added as an admin by today, end of day. So again, just going to ask a couple different questions to this bot. And one more for the bot is about a charge that I received on my account that I didn't recognize. So I'm calling out to the bot and saying, hey, I want to speak to someone about this. There's a charge here. Get me to an agent. Before it does so, it's going to clarify some information for me, figure out which the last 4 digits of my account that I'd like to inquire about. Because again, this bot knows who I am and can access my data that it has in Salesforce. So I'll click into the account number that I'd like to look at with the agent, and then I will switch over and accept this chat right in Omnichannel. So again, up until this point, besides the sort of UI improvements and the asynchronous messaging, the process is very similar. So as in MIAW as it was in live chat, right? And that is by design, right? We don't want this to be a super different experience for agents or for customers, but rather improve the experience with a couple different features and functions that will make things a little bit easier for both parties. So when I accept the message in the console as the agent, I'm of course presented with information about the customer who chatted in, and then you'll see in the center console, you'll see that there is a conversation catch-up. So this is powered by generative AI. This is an Einstein 1 feature. This conversation catch-up is showing to me as the agent, here's what you missed out on while the customer was chatting with the bot. So in that previous bot example, the bot was asking about how to send a wire transfer, how to add a user, and also they mentioned a charge on their account. So ask them more information about that, right? It's classifying the issue or the the case or the conversation that they had, and giving some suggestions as to how to classify this particular case. I can give this a rating. This gives feedback to Gen AI to say, okay, yes, this is helpful. No, this wasn't. But for now, I'll just go ahead and show less, and talked about a couple other features related to Gen AI and the ability to use it because of MIAW right in the console. So service replies. You can see that based on the customer's feedback, there was an unrecognized charge, right? I'm going to go ahead and post this right to the customer, and you can say that this is delivered, right? I can give this ratings. I can give this a thumbs up. I can give this a thumbs down. I can edit it similar to service replies before Gen AI, but this time it's not just powered by knowledge, it's also powered by generative functionality. So these are bespoke, of course, it's a demo org, but these are bespoke responses based on data in my org, like knowledge articles and past conversations, as well as generative AI functionality. So I can go ahead and send this over to the customer. I can edit it, say thanks, whatever the case may be. And again, this message is now marked as delivered. In the agent side, you can see that I've sent these messages over to the customer, and the customer is, again, still seeing the same thing as before, but back on the agent side, you can see that read receipt has now switched from delivered to read, right? So you can imagine the benefit there being maybe there's a customer who is not paying attention, right? If the customer is leaving them as on delivered for hours at a time, maybe the agent doesn't need to come back to this chat super often, right? Or be notified that, hey, this was read. But instead can kind of use this to gauge how quickly they're going to expect a response back from this customer. If I were to ask a question as the customer, I'm going to go ahead and send another question. How long would it take for these NeuraCash cards to be delivered if there was one that was missing? On the agent side, you can see that the service replies are going to refresh, and it's going to look across knowledge articles as well as contextual AI to say, okay, if you want to replace a card or send a wire transfer, these are the steps that you can use to send that over, right? Again, I can post that, deliver it, and it's being marked as read in the console.
These seem simple, yet this is the key to the MIAW migration, is getting them to leverage these AI tools. This is the opportunity ahead of us.
Absolutely. Yeah, that and I think the new feature set and the new ability to use it outside of just web, in addition to the asynchronous nature of it, is a huge differentiator and is a big deal for a lot of customers for sure. So again, this looks similar to what agents in live chat are doing today, but without the support around it of asynchronous context, conversation catch-up, service replies. They're also able to use wrap up, right? If I'm ending the chat and I want Einstein to summarize what happened in the chat, maybe the customer wrote a novel, we were talking for an hour, right? Einstein will still be able to summarize that conversation, offer up resolution ideas, and get feedback from the actual agent. So again, the idea is that Gen AI is now unlocked for this channel. New features are available to customers and to agents, and overall just a better framework for customers and better performance. Cool. So let me pivot back to slides and talk a little bit about how we can help you guys, help your customers migrate from chat to MIAW, to messaging and app and web. I think what we're aiming to do is educate our customers on what the new functionality is, what they're going to be getting out of it, and then ultimately help them with some accelerator packages that we have put together to make this a little bit more palatable for a number of different customers. as far as the offering that we have included here, we've kind of broken it out by 3 different levels of customers, right? So the starter, premium, custom packages. Starter is a great use case for someone who is just using chat, doesn't have a bot. Um, uh, we can help them up with omni-channel routing, build out the MIAW theme to match their brand identity, and then basically build out the new channel for them. It's a roughly 3 to 5 week time frame for us to deploy. In this more sort of premium bucket we've got here, this would include everything in the starter package, plus the ability to migrate them from a standard Einstein bot to that enhanced Einstein bot. And then the custom package is for basically customers who have more complex routing mechanisms, as well as more complex bots, like including natural language processing, as well as like any integrations that are included in bots, because that can be, unsurprisingly, a little bit more of a lift for us to migrate and reimagine that sort of bot. Paul, anything you wanted to add here?
Yeah, I think as we segment the customer base together and start to have the proactive conversations, we'll get an understanding very quickly how deep they've gone in complexity to have those conversations. But the nice thing for some of the more simplistic deployments is very digestible dollar amount. Something to call out too, if you haven't worked with NeuraFlash before, we're incredibly easy to work with from a paper perspective. We'll sign the customer's mutual NDA. We'll often sign their MSA as well. So we'll never be in the way of executing paperwork to get going with them. So it's just something to keep in mind. We're hyper flexible to the customer needs around papering the arrangement.
Yeah, absolutely. And I'm certainly biased, but as an SE on our SE team, our SEs are our job really is to make sure that we can get deals moving quickly and pull in the right folks from delivery as needed, but really do be pretty quick in complementing your SE team, your technical team, in providing demos, mock-ups, everything in between. So yeah, that's sort of our goal. Great.
Good deal. Next slide quickly. Folks, call to action, super simple. Engage your Service Cloud team. You're benefiting from a whole host of expertise now on the Fin side of the equation. And let's get out to your customers quickly. We've built out bashos. I'm sure you've got them as well, but we have all sorts of messaging to help support that initial reach out to the customer. So it's not a retirement or a legacy removal of capability. It's a proactive discussion with the customer about what's out there for them. And then there's an incremental ACV opportunity here with the Gen I features, Einstein for service, perhaps there's reporting. There's a host of other opportunities for you there, but taking action quickly is key here. Creating urgency with some of these enhanced features and being a first mover is an important part of the equation too. Remember, as far as we've seen publicly, this is not going to be renewable product after the 14th of February next year. And that's really not that far away. So getting on top of this messaging, let's not have the click migration issues that we faced years back. This is an awesome opportunity to change the direction of the conversation quickly. We're going to host a webinar like this, if not exactly like this, with the customers. And that's going to be June 19th, same time. So 2 weeks from now, 1 p.m. Eastern Standard, registration link is here. We're going to start messaging this out to the customer base. We'd love to work with you on that. And let's make sure we get you in our Fin Slack channel as well, because we do a lot of interaction with the teams across Fins and the service teams as well inside Slack. But more importantly, are there questions, commentary? Folks, we'll open the floor and see what you've got for us. Did any come in on the chat?
Not yet on chat, but I'm going to give everybody permission to feel free to speak up and take everybody off mute if they want to ask questions live.
Yeah, definitely. Thanks, Paul. Yeah, if you got questions, team, let us know. If something pops into your head after this as well, we're going to send the recording out. And again, we will have the customer-facing webinar on June 19th. My team will post that out to the various Slack channels and as well to invite your customers thinking about this and looking for NeuraFlash's assistance. So, hey, Paul, real quick, what would be kind of the starter conversation or some key things if they're talking with their client that would be a good fit for them to invite to this webinar? Could maybe talk on that for a quick minute?
Sure. We've actually created some messaging. We'll share it immediately after. But I think it's a proactive reach out on where are they heading from a digital engagement strategy, and be open and forthright that there's some legacy tools in their kit bag that are going to be retiring. And you'd like to have a conversation specific to those capabilities and how you can enhance their overall service experience with Salesforce.
Nice, thank you.
Yeah.
All right. Looks like no questions have come in. We did post the link for the customer session in there. So again, we'll do that. And I don't know, anything else to wrap up? Or is there a question?
Yeah. I'm sorry to interrupt you, James. There was a question from Pam around helping clients with intent management across bots, asynchronous chat, and IVR. Absolutely, right? We have done, I think, over 200 bot deployments. I think pretty close to that around Service Cloud voice deployments. This is right up our alley. So we're happy to have those conversations with your clients even before moving to contract with them to figure out, okay, what are you guys up against today? What does your bot look like today? What are your outcomes? What are your goals? And then we can help solve for that.
And James, a question for you, if you have it in front of you. What does the customer list look like that are on some of the legacy SKUs retiring? I want to say we're in the hundreds, correct?
I'll have to go back and verify that. It just so happens my internet they're doing some work in my neighborhood, so it just kind of went down. So I'm on my mobile, but let me look at that. We can also send that out to the AEs that have it. But and even if they're already moved on and they just need this type of experience or integration with bots, those are prime customers as well, even if they're already off live agent and chat. So we can invite the customers, but I'll get that list together for you guys.
Okay, that's great. Yeah, that'll be helpful for the teams to start that reach out, and we're happy to help. We're happy to share some of the documentation we've created around this message because we're sharing it with our mutual clients already.
Perfect. Any other questions come in? No, I guess we could wrap this up, let everybody go about their day, and then we'll start the process for getting the 19th scheduled and messaging out. So
that's great. Thank you so much, team. Really appreciate you spending some time with us.
Thanks, everybody. Thanks, Paul, team.
Take care. Bye-bye.